Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Wednesday. It is Self-Care Wednesday. Let's get rolling with the self-care. I got the self-care rituals deck. Okay. Oh, sorry, my eyes are watering. I like these. These are kind of fun. They're basically self-care ideas. Hashtag self-care oracle, as it says on the box. But also take care of yourself so you can shine your soul's light. Take care of yourself so you can shine your soul's light. I like that. You know, do what lights the pilot light of your soul, right? Or what sparks the pilot light of your soul. So let's see what we can come up with. Let's see if, well, that one just kind of popped up there. Oh, that one too. And that one too. So we'll start with those. Let's see if anything else wants to come out. I actually have a few card decks today. This is not the oracle. These are just self-help tools and whatnot. I believe self-care is more, and self-help, but I believe self-care and self-help is more than just, and this is just my opinion, but I believe it's more than just the physical aspect of our bodies. It's also the emotional aspect, the mental aspect. A lot of times those are the things that we need to kind of put ourselves back into place. And I think a lot of times we focus so much on, you know, like what feels good, like the massages and the, you know, the healthy eating and all that stuff, that I think sometimes we forget to take care of the emotional aspect. So it is very, very important. It is, I personally, I think that's the most important part of self-care, is taking care of your mental health as well. So whether you have a dinged up mental health or not, it doesn't matter. Taking care of your mental well-being is prime, is major. So let's see if we get any more. All right, if not, we'll just see if we're drawn to pull some from the top. I also have the stress reduction, stress essentials, or stress reduction essentials. One of these days I'll get this right. All right, let's see what we got here. Number 1, make a meal. What was I just talking about? That's so funny. Okay, so you could also do that, and it can be mindful. You know, what are you putting into your food? What are you putting into your body? You know, I'm probably not the one to really preach on that at this current time, but if it brings you joy and it's healthy and you like it, do it. So, and here we have like the broccoli, the tomatoes, the peppers, the avocados. I love avocados. I know there's a lot of people that aren't into avocado toast, but it is amazing. And good morning, baby sibling. If you put lemon pepper on the avocado toast, game changer. There's carrots, there's all different sorts of nice, you know, legumes, all those things, all those wonderful things in there to, you know, promote the healthy part of the diet. Dance. This is like, I think something similar came up last week. I think it was in the stress reduction essentials deck. Dance, you know, just move your body, do whatever it is you have to do, get the energy flowing, get the vibe flowing. You know, it's not just about movement and your body, it's also about getting your energy flowing. You're getting your, you know, we literally do have vibes, and you can really, really raise your vibes by doing these kind of things, by just kind of moving and getting yourself going. So, you know, don't be afraid to dance. You know, even if you don't want to do it in front of other people. Good morning, Debbie. Even if you don't want to do it in front of other people, it's okay. You know, find a secret place in your house, you know, where the door locks. But just go for it, because it will raise your energy, it will raise your vibes, and it gets your body moving, right? So, you know, who knows what else it can do. So, okay, we had this one last time, abundance planning, but abundance planning isn't just about finances. It's also about, you know, the things in your life, what's important to you, you know, like relationships. I mean, like your family ones, friendships, soulmate ones, whatever it is. But this one is specifically talking about monetary. So, you know, if you feel like you're not in a good place right now, try to do abundance planning. What I think this card is going for is, if you plan it, you're getting out of your own head and you're getting out of what you do not feel like you have, and putting yourself in the mindset of what you can achieve and what can, you can open yourself up to. A lot of times we stop the flow of things to come. I'm a primary example of that. But a lot of times we stop the flow of things to come because we're fearful. Maybe we're afraid. Maybe there's things that are coming due and you're not sure how it's going to happen. So you start to panic. You go into worry mode. And then there are times when we sit there and go, you know what? I don't want to think about it right now. I just have to, hope that it works out for the best. And it does. Sometimes the weirdest things can happen, and, money can come from different sources, that you may not even be expecting. Someone may just decide, hey, I was thinking about you today and came into some few extra bucks, so I'm going to send you some. So, it's stuff like that. But the more, I'm so sorry, my face is itchy. The more we, I'm so sorry, guys. The more we up our vibe, the better, the more open you make yourself to this flow to bring into yourself. Okay. Look to the stars. Now, this one actually has all the different symbols of the zodiac in it and the different moon phases from waxing to waning. But it's not just that. Sometimes you can find peace. How many times have, when we were younger, right? I don't know about in other countries, but out here in California, we're not our own country, but I'm not sure if they do it in other states, but I know out here in Southern California, we have 5th grade camp, 6th grade camp, 4th grade camp, all different camps. But I remember there were different times. I went to safety patrol camp because it was the safety patrol for, future captains of the safety patrol. That's right. I was a captain of safety patrol in 8th grade. But I remember just laying there, and it was the first time I really, really got that close to the stars. We were up at one of the high mountains in San Diego, and it was amazing. Another time, not recently, but about a year ago, when my dad and I took a trip out to visit our Arizona family. Baby sibling took me out to one of her favorite places, and we just looked at the stars, and it is amazing. It's harder out here it's harder when you live in a city to really, really get a good view of all the stars out there. But once you get away from the city lights, once you get away from, the glow of the metropolis, you can see just how vast this universe really is. And you can kind of lose yourself in that. And I think that's important. Even if you're just staring at the moon, or if you're staring at the North Star, or the stars that you can actually see really well, you're giving yourself that time to just get out of your head, get into nature. You don't have to lay in the grass. You don't have to lay in the dirt. You can, do whatever you want to do. You can lean up against your car and just look, but just bask in its glow, because, it's kind of what happens with our problems. When we become bigger than our problems and we take that power back and we take that control back, somehow things just start to work out, right? How many times have we felt stuck, and then all of a sudden it's like we look back and we're like, whoa, when did I move from that spot? So I love these self-care tips because they're simple. They're things that everybody can do. Abundance planning, you can do yourself. Dancing, you can do that anywhere. You can dance while you're cooking. I wouldn't do it with a knife in your hand just in case. But you could just move your body. It doesn't even have to, and don't worry about looking like, these fabulous dancers on TV. Just move your body. And, a lot of times when we do that too, it can open up a lot of different things for us because you're getting that vibe sparked. You're getting that movement going. And, look to the stars. And if you're into following the moon phases, that's great. If you're into astrology, that's great too. Those are the stars you could also be looking to. But just remember, a lot of times if you read something online, you're like, oh my God, I gotta get my horoscope today. Now, I know that's not a lot of people's things, but there's a lot of people who really depend on it every day. I'm going to tell you what I usually tell people when I do an Oracle Friday. If it does not resonate with you, do not force it. You are not the only person of that sign. You may know someone of the same sign who it completely resonates with. And they're like, oh my God, today's horoscope was amazing. Did you see it? And you're like, yeah, it didn't do much for me. It's okay. It may not be your day. Okay. They are generalizing for the day. So don't take it to heart. Don't worry if something doesn't happen or come to fruition like that because you know your horoscope said it was going to. I personally believe in them, but I've also learned after obsessing over them that not every single one is meant for us. Maybe there's a line in there that might fit you. Maybe it might fit you 2 days later. You know, they're generalized guidance. Okay, guidance. So don't get too worried, or don't worry. Like I said, if it doesn't resonate with you, and don't try to force it to resonate with you, because that's a big overthinker right there. All right. So aromatherapy. My only thing is just be careful if you have essential oils and you have pets, okay? Because even if you put it into a diffuser, the diffuser is diffusing these things and it can land in certain places. So try to keep it in a place where you know, like you don't think your animals will tread, okay? Because it can be bad. Essential oils, a lot of essential oils, not all of them, but a lot of them are not good for pets. Or there are places that sell pet friendly aromatherapy and you can use that as well. So just be careful. But if you don't have pets, go for it. I am a straight up incense person, but I love my incense. I know. But yeah, aromatherapy can be amazing. It can be totally amazing. You know, you just kind of sit there, do some mindfulness, or even just if you're walking around your house, or maybe you have a diffuser going and safely, please. They make electric ones, I believe. But you walk into the house and maybe you had a bad day and all of a sudden you get that whiff of like some kind of special fragrance or sweet fragrance. And you're just like, you just feel that calm. You feel that reminder like, oh, okay, let me just let this wash the day off of me. All right, so let's pull one more from here. Plan a vacation. Wouldn't that be fun? Plan a vacation. So there you go. You know what? That can be a part of your abundance planning. If you're sitting there going, oh, I wish I could go on vacation, but I don't have the money, then you know what? Abundance plan. Make it happen. Tell the universe your needs. Tell your higher power your needs. I'm going to tell you now. A lot of people say you can't pray for things like that. I want to say, why not? Who said? Who said? Who said you can't ask the universe for things? Who said you can't ask your higher power for things? It may not come to you in the way you expect it to, but chances are it will. If it is meant for you, it will come to you. You just have to trust it and believe it and have faith that it is going to work out. Okay? So let's get to the stress reduction essentials. Oh, I forgot. It's Wednesday. Oh, there. See, Debbie said that her and her mom and sister just did that. A girls weekend. Girls weekends are fun. Happy hump day. Hump day, hump day, hump day. I forgot that for baby sibling. Sorry. My brain. So let's see. Stress reduction essentials. I am never going to get that right. I swear to you, I'm never going to get that right. Stress reduction essentials. All right. Nothing seems to want to come out, so we'll just pull from the top. Okay, actually split it in half and then pull from the top. All right, music lover. There you go. You can do that while you're dancing. Music has been used since ancient times in all cultures around the world to cultivate connection and joy. In the times of the Egyptians, music was used to commune with the cosmos. Oh, there's your stars. It was thought to intertwine people's lives with the world around them and was used by doctors in healing practices. Modern research indicates that music may have the power to heal. The sound vibrations emitted resonate through one's being. That is very true. I mean, I'm not sure if anyone wants to jump on that bandwagon, but I love music and I love binaural beats. Binaural, binaural. They are beats that actually hit the frequencies of your body for different things. There are different frequencies that are embedded in music. But also, I think, okay, Debbie, which deck did you like? The self-care ritual deck that we just finished? That's what it looks like. But you know, here's the thing. Even if you're not into binaural beats, maybe you have these moments where music just it soothes your soul. Maybe you have different kind of, oh, the stress reduction essentials deck. Yes, this is a great deck. But for music lovers, right? I remember mentioning a while ago when I would get really stressed as a teenager, for some reason I would just put on I don't know why, but I'd put on music like In Living Color, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, all these hard things. Well, hard things. It's not death metal, so but it was mainstream metal, okay? But for some reason it calmed me down. And then as it turns out, when I got older, and you know, I mean, technology improves itself. I mean, God, look, we have playlists. We don't even need Walkmans and Discmans. Remember the compact Discman things? I think that's what it was called. Even the headphones improve. And I started noticing that a lot of times when I have my headphones on, I'm actually zeroing in on the drum beats. You know, like, it's like all the other music disappears and I started hitting the drum beats. That's why I think that I actually tune in well to binaural beats, because it's not necessarily drum beats, but there's these different frequencies in there. But it turns out that's actually what was calming me down when I was a teenager, and I just, you know, would have these stress levels of like above and beyond, and would actually put me to sleep. But I love music, and I can always tell with myself, because I do have a dinged up mental health, that when I put on music, if I'm not singing, I know I need to check in with myself. Because a lot of times music will come on, or if I'm not busy and not singing, because a lot of times I'm doing something, and obviously sometimes it's hard to write and sing at the same time. It can get very distracting. I mean, I have like about 20 playlists for all different things. But when I'm just working on my stuff, just not writing, not reading, not doing anything else, and I'm in the playlist with, you know, lyrics and stuff like that. It's just kind of a hodgepodge of stuff. If I start singing and I stop singing, no big deal. But if I want to sing and I know I can't for some reason, it's just kind of like, yeah, I'm not feeling it tonight. That's when I know I need to check in with myself. And it's because I become very mindful of my listening habits. And that can be a good sign to keep you from spiraling if you do have a dinged up mental health. What do you need to check in with to make sure that you're doing okay? So, music lovers, I love this one. Let's see. The self-care practices. Turn on your music, crank it up, and dance around to the beat. There you go. Dancing again. Feel your high frequency emotions rising as you move and sound flows through you. So I'm not going to lie. I watch The Masked Singer out here in the United States, and I realize that from us and the UK and probably even South Korea, where I believe it originated from, everybody has different guests, right? Because everybody has different celebrities in every country. But I don't know who this celebrity is, but last week, one of them did a Ricky Martin song from like the 90s. And I tell you, it's been on repeat. And I mean, poor sibling, because the living room is right below my room. But boy, when that song comes on, I can't help it. I just got to get up and just move, because it's so much fun. I mean, his music is so much fun. You're just like, wow. You know, I don't care what anybody thinks I look like, because guess what? Nobody's watching. But, and that's just fine with me. But, I'm a shy dancer. But yeah, I mean, just stuff like that, right? I mean, it's the one thing I love about that show is that it reminds me sometimes of songs that I have fallen off of my radar. And they're just fun, you know, and just, like I said, it just helps you get your body moving, get you standing up and doing stuff. And it feels good when you're done. And don't feel silly, okay? Especially if you're in your own room by yourself. You know, who cares? If you want to think that in your mind you look like Beyonce, go for it. Okay? Because it's just you. And that can also raise your confidence levels. All right? And if you go out dancing in public and people make fun of you, screw them. All right? Because guess what? You are out there and you are just giving it your all. And people should respect that. So, number 2, sing. Singing is a powerful way to experience the sound vibrations throughout the entire body. And number 3, make a happy playlist. Every time you begin to feel your emotions dipping, put on your playlist, sing along or dance along, and feel your emotions rise. That's another good one. I actually have a happy playlist. I don't think that's what I call it, but I think it's called my Up My Vibe one. So lavender, just so you know, essential oil lavender and lavender plants are dangerous to cats. They may or may not be to dogs. I don't know. I wouldn't try it. I wouldn't test it. But I can tell you firsthand that they do not go with cats well. My poor kitty had some major health issues that almost killed her, and it turns out I was able to think back to what had happened, because she's a healthy girl, and I used lavender spray, and I used to let her walk through my room, you know, when I was getting ready in the morning for work. And of course it gets on the floor because it's a spray, and she would traipse in, and it would get, you know, she was soaking it in through the pads of her paws. So just be careful with that, okay? I now get ready with my door closed. I make sure, you know, my floor is dry before any cats come in. But you know, just be careful, okay? So, but I do love, I will just jump back there. I do love lavender. Lavender can be very calming and relaxing. Lavender speaks to the soul. It is an elegant fragrance that has been used since ancient times to aid relaxation and sleep, relieve stress and pain, and enhance beauty. I'm not sure how that works, but okay. The aroma alone has been known to promote calm, ease, and relaxation. You know, other ways that you can get around this is sachets. Or, you know, that way you can have the lavender around you and not worry about it hurting your pets. A friend of mine in England actually made and sent me a small, about this big, lavender pillow with Doctor Who material. I love it. I love it. It's on my bed, and if I wasn't hooked up to all this, I'd be like, hold on, let me go get it. But maybe tomorrow, if I remember, I'll just show you. So if you're on tomorrow, you can see it, because it's a very clever pillow, and I absolutely love it. And when I squeeze it and whatnot, it lets out this nice little aroma of lavender, and it's very comforting. So, you know, that's also a good thing. Or you can, like I said, they have sachets. If you do not have pets, there's the essential oil diffusers. Or there's even those kind of, I don't know if they're called diffusers, but they're the ones that you put the sticks in the bottle, and then they just let off that scent. That's probably pet friendly. I'm assuming that's pet friendly. I mean, I've used it in the living room and the pets are fine. So, yeah, I'm sorry, I was looking at mine up there. But yeah, try that too. Or plant lavender in your garden, or keep a small lavender roll-on in your purse. When you feel in need of support, apply or smell the oil to help soothe and remind you all as well. I actually made one of myself, one of those, the roll-on ones. So that can help as well, especially if you start getting a headache. Make one with lavender and peppermint. Then you can roll it across your head. Nourishment. Providing our body with healthy, personalized food that nourishes our soul and boosts our health, is the optimal way to proactively take care of our whole being. There is a gut-brain connection. When we take care of our gut health, we take care of our brain. I love pre/probiotics. Those are my favorites. I'm not in a position to tell you what kind to buy, but, you know, if you're into that, it really can help your gut health, and it really does, you know, it does help. So, the one I use, I absolutely love. But choose foods that fit your emotions. Okay, this is a tricky one. All right, and I say this is a tricky one because, when this card was obviously written, it's written for people in just general stressful situations. However, number one, if you are an emotional eater, skip this one, okay? Because this is not going to fare well for you. Eat is a way to nourish your body, and not solely because it tastes good, okay? Yeah, so number one, if you're an emotional eater, I know a lot of times we'll say, choose foods that fit your emotions. This is, I don't know, this to me kind of seems to cancel each other out. Choose foods that fit your emotion. Eat is a way to nourish your body, and not solely because it tastes good. If you're an emotional eater, that's what you're going for, because that fits your emotion. Something that's going to fill that void, something that's going to fill that hole, and that is not going to work. Okay, so skip this one. If you feel like you are getting emotional, keep fruit in the house. Keep bananas in the house. Keep apples in the house. Keep grapes in the house. Strawberries. Strawberries are great. Blueberries, just remember they might stain your hands, so be careful. But you know, use gloves or something, or use a spoon or a fork or something. But try to replace your sweets with something that is naturally sweet. And I know that can be difficult sometimes, even if you go for the yogurt instead of the burger. Okay, or sugar-free pudding snack instead of the French fries. A lot of times it's the substitutions we make that can actually lead to the better things, like the fruit, like the salads, like the just the things that are better for us than, you know, the generalized processed foods that people with emotional eating do like to eat. I can speak from experience. All right. So, let's see. Here's one. Okay. I don't know what that is. Sorry. Sometimes I have to read up on these things. All right. Let me just, here. We'll do this one. And then I do want to do, I was told to pull a quick card from the Goddess Isis Oracle deck, Beyond Lemuria, and the Affirmators. So I gotta plug through this. Yoga. Hey, I don't make this stuff up. That's the card that came up. Yoga is a beautiful mind-body mindfulness practice. It improves your overall fitness, promoting relaxation and balance. I'm trying to learn yoga. I am not very flexible. I did sign up for a course for yoga over 40, but we'll see how that goes. But you know, yoga it is full of mindfulness as well. And here's the thing: even if you're not good at it, you keep going because you get better at it. No person in a class that you might be in walked in for the first time unless they were doing it at home and it's just perfect. But that's what everybody's there for. That's why they now have different, they have different levels, right? You have beginners, medium, expert, hot yoga. I'm not even sure what hot yoga is. I know that usually it's like a lot of fast movement. So I know there was a hot hula that was going around for a while, and that's just basically all the fast stuff for like 30 minutes or something like that. But work your way up. And if you want to, just try it at home. There's YouTube videos everywhere. Just be careful, okay? One of the reasons people do classes is simply based on the fact that the teacher can help you and show you how to do things the proper way so you do not hurt yourself. All right. So, okay. Well, there's the card right there. Remember, guys, this isn't the Oracle deck. This is, these are just guidance cards for Self-Care Wednesday. So the Wings of Isis. You have a special spiritual relationship with the angelic worlds. Part of your soul purpose is to birth angelic consciousness and values such as fearlessness, compassion, and service into this human culture. This oracle also brings your angelic assistance, intervention, and confirmation too. I think, okay, so when it says birth angelic consciousness and values such as fearlessness, compassion, and service into this human culture, go out there and do your thing, okay? I actually think the Aloha perspective would be considered something as, putting this in to human culture. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to make each other better, not bitter, right? There's a lot of bitter people out there, and there's a lot of people that are just, angry and in pain and hurting, and they're not really sure why. And I think it sometimes comes out in bad ways. Sometimes I think it comes out in ways that it's not intended to, and then people get upset and angry and bad things happen, and but just don't stop, okay? Just keep moving forward. Keep putting all that good stuff that you have inside of you out into this world. I think that card wasn't just meant to say, hey, you should go do this. I think it's validating people too that are already doing this, that may feel like I'm not making any difference. That might feel like they're not making any difference. They're not touching anybody. Don't give up. Don't quit. All right. Just keep moving. Keep going forward, because you never know who you're going to touch in this life. And even if it's one person, that one person, you know, that can be a long string of people. You know, I gave that example, I think it was last week in one of the perspectives where, you know, I watch a TV show called 911. It's a fictional show from Ryan Murphy. And what I found interesting about it is they covered something very, very interesting. You know, I mean, a lot of times people think, well, what if, or it was just a lot of different examples. But in this primary example, it was a bunch of firefighters wondering, what difference have I made? Well, then they were able to see. They were able to see that, you know, even though sometimes they're not able to save everybody, they are able to save a lot of people. And the people that they save, it could come around in so many different ways. One of the prime examples was they had a scenario where a woman falls from a building and this firefighter was very lucky and catches her. But all she could focus on was, well, what if I didn't? Because technically I should have never caught her. Well, later this woman shows up at the end and she's a trauma surgeon. And she's a top trauma surgeon that was brought out to the West Coast. So I know this is fiction, but the point is we don't know who we're touching along the way and how they're going to touch somebody else. How they're going to spread, you know, maybe take some of your magic, spread their own magic, and that person may keep going and going and going. You know, it's like a dandelion, right? When the wind blows, all these little tiny seeds go everywhere. And I know people consider them weeds. Some people consider them wishing weeds or wishing flowers or wishes, period. But we don't know who we're touching. We don't know whose life we're affecting. You know, we just have to keep doing it. We don't do it for numbers. We do it because we want people to be better, to feel better, to get better, to know that there's hope out there for, you know, a better way of living and thinking and feeling. If I didn't see a lot of the videos I used to see on, whether it was YouTube or Facebook, some of the posts on Facebook, if I didn't find the community I found on Twitter, there would be a lot of times when I think I would be super duper lost. But I realize there's other people out there like me, and we all have the same goal. Okay? Don't compete with someone else. It's not a competition. Everybody has a set of people that they are going to help in their lives. But we can learn from one another. We can learn different tools. We can learn different ways of approaching things. You know, there's a lot of ways that I used to approach things. And I read about one person saying, you know, just as an example, I used to say, I've done the hard work. When you do the hard work, you get to point B from point A. And this person doesn't follow me, so I'm pretty sure they never saw my post. In fact, I think somebody I follow liked their post, and that's how it ended up in my feed. You know, it's the algorithm thing. But all it said was, I hate it when people say, if you do the hard work, you're going to get better. I've done the hard work. I keep trying. Some people's mental health is just so chronic that no matter how hard they try, they still don't feel like they're moving forward. And it made me rethink my stance on that. So now I just put it in terms of a very personalized way where it's like, you know what? I've done my hard work and I was able to move forward in a way I never thought possible. And then I do try to reiterate that, you know, just because you see somebody who's struggling, that doesn't mean they're not doing the hard work. It just means that, you know, they're trying to figure out what is going to work for them. And hopefully they find that, because sometimes the end result isn't pretty. It's a very personal choice. So we have to focus on what works for us, and we can share it in a way that, you know, I hope this works for you, or whatever path you choose. I hope you find what it is you're looking for. Don't just tell people, well, do this because it worked for me. What works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another person. All right. So, harmonic flight. This powerful image represents the divine we see when we look deeply into the eyes of another and our armor drops. Oh, sorry. My reading skills are lacking today. This powerful image represents the divine we see when we look deep into the eyes of another, and our armor drops when we meet another being. Okay. I'm not sure why I'm struggling with this. Baby sibling and I actually worked this out one day, that it seems like when I trip over things, it's things that I need to focus on in my own life and heal or work on or just practice getting better at. So please bear with me, because apparently this is something I need to do. The harmonic flight. All right, this is the card. That's a very pretty card. Just focus on that while I try to get through this. And I like that. I just realized there's an infinity symbol at the top. Here we go. This powerful image represents the divine we see when we look deep into the eyes of another, and our armor drops. When we meet another being present in the moment with no stories, judgments, or insecurities. When we harmonize our energies with another, we can soar to the sky. We can guide each other higher and higher by encouraging all that has been weighing us down to drop away. The bonds you share give you the power to transmute fear. Put time and awareness into resolving karmic connections, or they will continue to play out. There may also be a life-changing connection on the horizon. Ooh, that sounds fun, a life-changing connection. But let's see. This powerful image represents the divine we see when we look deeply into the eyes of another, and our armor drops away. When we meet another being present in the moment with no stories, judgments, or securities. I'm not sure why I'm struggling over that one. I think it's just the way it's written. Or maybe it's just the way I'm reading it. But basically, it's just talking about how your armor drops away when you meet another being present in the moment with no stories, judgments, or insecurities. I guess what it's saying is just go in faith, go in believing, go in trust. Go in trust. Don't worry. Maybe you're trying to meet someone and maybe you feel like you're holding yourself up, right? Because maybe it's the way you look, maybe it's the way you feel, maybe you feel like you're not good enough. Let those fears go. Let those judgments go. It's not just our fears, our judgments, or not there. It's not just the generalized no stories, judgments, or insecurities. It's our own stories, judgments, and insecurities. Don't worry about your story. Okay? The people who are meant to be in your life will help you carry your story. They will listen. They will respect it with you. They will honor it with you. I mean, it is your story to carry, but they won't judge you for it. Okay? If you feel like you're not the right type of person, don't worry about that either. Because the people that are meant for you in your life, whether it's a romantic thing or just a platonic thing or just, sometimes we get afraid to go in front of family because we're afraid they're going to yammer on about what we need to do to get healthy. I've had that. And it's not helpful. I know they mean well, but it's not always helpful because it just reminds me and makes me feel bad about how slow my progress has been. But like we talked about yesterday on the perspective, it's about progress, not perfection. I'm learning to love myself exactly as I am. And if that means that the healthy part of my physical journey slows down, at least I know I've got the mental part taken care of. But it's something I'm still working on. But don't worry about that. Because say it's something romantic, they're just going to love you for who you are. And who knows, maybe they'll even help you on your health journey. They'll give you that encouragement that you need without the judgment. If you find somebody that you just become so enamored with and they're on a health journey, then be that support. Don't judge them. Don't say, hey, you should be doing this. Just say, you know what can I do to help you? Or what can I do to support you? Or you know what, you're not feeling it today? Maybe let's just go for a short walk. Or maybe not even that. Maybe they just need to be comforted. It all depends on where their mental health is, right? If you have a dinged up mental health, sometimes it can be harder. So just go in love. I think that's the best way to put it. Just go in love, go in patience. And Debbie Hall says it. Presence is a beautiful thing with another person. And it doesn't matter what person it is. It could be, like I said, it could be romantic, could be platonic, could be family, could be siblings, could be your friends, whatever it is. Just support one another. Be encouraging. You know, we talked a lot about that yesterday. I had a full-on love fest when it came to baby bear and baby sibling. And this is kind of what I was talking about. You know, this is kind of what I was talking about. They're encouraging, they're supportive. They're very open to discussing things with their kids without the yelling, without the fighting. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm sure it does. I don't know. I'm not always there. But the point is that nobody goes to bed mad, or everybody tries not to go to bed mad. And I think that is the best rule to live by in any relationship, any friendship. You know, resolve things in the moment. Don't let it sit and fester. When you let it sit and fester, it becomes a bad thing. Older sibling used to like to joke that she has a 3-day window. Like something will happen and it'll take her 3 days to kind of get to how she's feeling about it. But the problem with that is that the other person may have let it go already, and now she's ready to talk about it. And she's ready to talk about it, and then it just re-stirs it all up. So a lot of times it's just best to just handle it in the moment. Baby sibling said, there's yelling sometimes. Of course there is, right? Of course there is. But you know what? They get to the bottom of it. They do get to the bottom of it. And they support one another, and they talk it out. You know, sometimes we're going to yell. It's not something I think we choose to do. It's just a lot of times, excuse me, I think a lot of times we feel like we're not heard. I think a lot of times we feel like we're not seen, like maybe we're invisible, or maybe we just really, really want to get our point across and we feel like nobody's listening. Until we realize, when they repeat back to us, it's like, oh, you were listening. It's going to happen. Best thing to do is try not to carry that for too long. Try not to feel guilty about it, because then you're going to overthink it and it's going to fester and it's just going to not be good. So just work it out in the moment if that's possible. Okay. Oh, wow. We got a bonus card, which means we have to pull another one. This is crazy. The bonus card was forgiveness. The second card I pulled, letting go. Wow. Normally I would read this card first, but I think the forgiveness one needs to be in this order. Congratulations. You've been given one of the most powerful superpowers there is. Forgiveness. Imagine that you've been bitten by a radioactive forgiver. Remember, these are snarky cards. The point is, you suddenly have the ability to forgive people for their flaws, their bad days, their unkind moments, and their mistakes. And the best thing about forgiveness is that you can apply it to yourself too. Have fun wielding your new power, but remember, with great forgiveness comes great inner peace. Somebody must have watched Spider-Man before they, like the original, well, not the original, but the first attempt at Spider-Man movies about, 20 years ago? 15, 16 years ago? I don't know. The early O's. But, yeah, with great forgiveness comes great inner peace. So anyways, forgiveness can be hard. A lot of times we're in a position where, we're not even able to forgive somebody in person, but it's not always about them, right? It's not always about forgiving them for what they did. Sometimes it's about forgiving the situation so you yourself can move on and move forward from it. And it's a tricky path. It is a tricky path. I have had to tread lightly myself when it has come to forgiveness. And I say tread lightly because it's like it was a very delicate situation. And I had to find a way to move past it without and to heal it, really. Because in that path of forgiveness, a lot of things came up that I had to heal in my heart. And so forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean, hey, I'm letting you off the hook. No, what it means is that you're letting go of a situation and walking away. I mean, see, look, the camel is literally getting rid of things. I mean, things are just dropping off and he's not caring. He's lightening his load. So letting go. I don't dwell on bad things that happened. I let things go because I have enough heavy things to carry around. And also, grudges aren't a great look. I'm a Capricorn. Grudges are our thing. We excel at grudges. But this is a tricky one. Like I said, this is a tricky one to really kind of talk about, because I mean, there are just so many aspects of forgiveness that I think you really, it's like climbing a ladder. You get to different levels of forgiveness in different parts of your life when you start to heal things, when you start to move forward in your healing. And I mean, this, I don't know, I'm struggling with this, and I'm not struggling because it's something I need to do. I'm struggling because everybody's path is different. Everybody's healing process is different. You know, I have had the same trauma that other people have had in my Twitter group, or the Twitter account that I have, but I've been able to find a way to move forward while some of them have not. And that's to no fault of their own. They've tried the forgiveness route as well. But a lot of times the people that we need to forgive are no longer present, or are no longer, they're nowhere to be found. So how do you do that? And that can be the tricky part, but that's where letting go comes in. You know, if you're in a situation where parties involved that need to be forgiven are no longer there, or maybe you need to feel forgiven and be forgiven by somebody else, sometimes you have to find that path on your own. If you've hurt somebody and either they're no longer around, or they're just not in the picture somehow, and you can't find how to get a hold of them, find a way to forgive yourself. Hanging on to things that we do not need to hang on to, it really, I'm going to say it brings down your vibe, but it does more than bring down your vibe. It really lowers your frequency. It can cause you to be more stressed. It can cause anxiety. It can cause, those two things alone can just lead to actual health problems. I mean, stress and anxiety are real, but I mean physical health problems. Just all those things. But a lot of times I think we feel like maybe we hang on to something because we need to punish ourselves. I talked about an event in my life from a while ago, a long, long time ago, and I carried that guilt for decades. About 2 decades to be exact, until I finally started finding a way to heal it. And I finally, within the last several months even, found a way to finally move on from it and realize, you know what, I made a choice, and it may not have been the best choice, it may not have been the worst choice, or maybe it was the right choice at the time that I made it. But the point is, I can't go back and change it, and we're all going to make choices in our lives, and sometimes we're going to be talked into them, sometimes we're not. I mean, it was nothing illegal, so, slow your roll there. But what I'm saying is that sometimes we just have to find a way to forgive ourselves as well. Don't carry a burden that you do not need to carry any longer. If it's something that you can't resolve with another person, then just move forward and be better. Don't allow it to pull you down and be bitter about it. A lot of times I think we are so hard on ourselves, and maybe that's what this card is about. Self-forgiveness. It is Self-Care Wednesday, and a big part of self-care is being able to forgive ourselves. It's being able to let go of what we cannot change. The longer and the harder you hold on, the longer and harder it is going to be to let it go. If it is something that happened that was not your fault, but you blame yourself, you have to let that go. You have to find a way. Whatever way works for you, you have to find a way. Journaling, therapy, shadow work, whatever it is that works for you. Because self-forgiveness, that's a huge burden that can be lifted from your shoulders. It can be a huge, huge burden that can be lifted from your shoulders. And you deserve that. You deserve that inner peace. Because what does it say right there? But remember, with great forgiveness comes great inner peace. And I can honestly say that the moment I found a way to heal myself, I was able to find a bit of inner peace within that situation. Okay, so I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for hanging in there. I know we went through a lot of different decks. That was so weird. Every time I picked up one thing, it's like, oh, you got to do this one. It's like, these were not oracles. Okay, Oracle Friday is on Oracle Friday, just as it sounds. But I do love going through the Affirmators decks, because I have 2 more sitting back there. Because, you know, they add a little sarcasm, right? So they add a little levity and humor to what can be very tense situations or intense situations. And they kind of give us guidance. They give us guidance in funny and productive ways where we are in tune, where we are willing to listen. Because it's not just, hey, you do this. No, it's giving you guidance. All right. So again, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow. Things to think on Thursday. I might just do an Affirmators deck tomorrow. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. You can watch it here on Facebook Live under Shelly Marie Lucas. Or if you're watching later, that's how you can find me if you want to be a part of the live. If you have questions, I do answer them to the best of my ability. I'm not a professional, but I have been through a lot of these things that I've talked about, and I have managed to survive them all. So, I know, right? That's a feat in itself. Or you can catch it later on YouTube under the Aloha Perspective. Oh, can't talk. The Aloha Perspective with Shelly Marie Lucas. And I do forward those to Twitter under GoalieFan1973 or Shellbell's Quest. I hope everybody has a great, great day. Please, please, please practice your self-care and take care of yourself. For as long as this show has been on, a lot of things have changed. But what has not changed in at least the last year is Self-Care Wednesday. And that's because I put it right in the middle of the week, because I think it's good to have these tips to get us through, maybe to carry us through the rest of the week, or just because it is hump day, right? So it's a really good day to kind of just be mindful of ourselves and the paths that we're on. All right. So again, have a great, great day. I will talk to everybody tomorrow, and thank you so much for watching.